They can't keep getting away with this! They can't keep getting away with it! Now, before you ask what the hell is this idiot talking about, that was my best Jesse Pinkman impression, which was probably bad, doesn't matter. What I'm trying to talk about is FIFA's dynamic ticket pricing. I don't know if you've heard or you've read about the pricing that they're introducing for next year's World Cup, but essentially what they're trying to do is mimic the pricing model of Uber and Lyft, or if you don't have Uber and Lyft, think of airline industries and hotels, where the higher the demand for a ticket, the higher the price of a ticket for a game. And then obviously vice versa. If there's no demand for the ticket, then the ticket prices are going to be lower. Now what FIFA have stated is that the prices can range anywhere between $60 on the low end and $6,700 on the high end. So that means that if you're trying to go to a game, let's say Germany versus England, which has high popularity and high demand, then your ticket prices will be maybe $1,000 for the cheapest seats, maybe more, which is absolutely insane. Now $60 for a ticket seems like a great price, but if there's no demand for that game, then you'd be stuck in there with like the 50 people who want to go and watch that game. You can probably coach the team at that point, just yell out some nonsense and the players might listen to you. But if you're trying to go to a game that people are interested in, it used to be where different sections of the stadiums would have kind of their little price range, and that was acceptable, right? More or less, it's affordable. But nowadays, what they're trying to introduce is some nonsense where, the more people that are interested in the game, the higher the prices of the tickets. Well, initial prices are probably going to be through the roof because people are interested in going to the World Cup. Most people have probably not even heard of this dynamic ticket pricing, hence the reason I'm talking about this, because I just recently learned and read about it, and I thought it was insane. And then I looked at the hospitality packages and the tickets on StubHub that they've currently introduced, which, by the way, I don't even know how StubHub has prices on there because they're not even available to the general public, but that's besides the point. The point is, when initial demand hits, of course those ticket prices will be insane because you got all these people who are basically piling on to try to buy tickets, and then you're gonna have the scalpers and all the bots that are gonna try to snatch the tickets where you're outpriced right off the bat because they're just gonna snatch up as many tickets as they can afford to then try to resell them at a much higher rate. Then if you're just a regular person like me, then you'll be outpriced of every single game from the tournament. But I don't know what FIFA's trying to do with this because they're a non-profit organization with $3 billion in the bank. Now, they've stated that they want to distribute this money globally and they're trying to invest in infrastructure of underdeveloped nations and build stadiums and blah, 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 other corporate nonsense. Fine, I agree and I support if that's what they were doing, but why does their bank account keep growing year after year? Why do you need to increase prices if you're trying to cater to a quote-unquote developing nation? Now, FIFA is known for this crap because if you go on Netflix, you can actually type in FIFA Uncovered and there's a whole documentary about how corrupt this organization is and how they got flagged by the FBI and basically their offices were raided, and it was a scandal a couple years ago. Everybody who was on the executive board resigned, and basically we have a brand new team that's honestly not doing that much better. I mean, they keep changing rules and things around. Like they just switched up the Club World Cup this year. The format was completely different and they're talking about changing it up again. Like there's no consistency with that organization. Now this whole dynamic ticket pricing, I don't know about you, but I don't have $6,000 laying around just to spend on a football match. Okay, now let's get into the hospitality packages that they've released for the casual audience. So the single match ticket, and I'm quoting here, is any one non-host nation match, meaning no Canada, no Mexico, or no US team can be participating in the game that you choose, within the round of 32. So it's not even in the knockout phases, it's in the beginning phases. And then it includes pitch side lounge, probably some snacks or whatever, who cares, a trophy lounge, fine, a Champions Club, I don't know what that means, and it costs $1,350, $1,350 to attend this match, right? Now imagine that a normal ticket costs between $60 and $450. Let's just call it, right? you're paying an additional almost $900, maybe over $1,000, depending on how much the ticket prices actually are, for just being able to go to pitchside lounge, which I don't know what that means, trophy lounge, which is just probably just being able to take pictures with the trophies without being able to touch them, because I've been in trophy rooms before, as well as something called a Champions Club, which I have no idea what that means. $1,350 for one game. Now, the second hospitality package that they've currently introduced, and I'm gonna read it out here, includes the same hospitality, pitchside lounge, trophy lounge, Champions Cup, etc. But it's called a venue series. And what that means is for $8,275, you can purchase a venue ticket, which gives you access to every single game that's being played in that particular stadium during the tournament. Now, I guess this may make sense if you're buying it for the stadium that's hosting the final. But the rest of the stadiums, I mean, that's a hard sell in my opinion. Because currently, we don't know who's qualified for the World Cup yet. The tickets are already on sale. In addition to that, we don't know of the teams who will qualify, where and when are they gonna play until very later on. So imagine spending $8,300 on tickets for the venue, and that venue hosts matches like Cape Verde versus Tajikistan. And I mean absolutely no offense to anyone who's from those nations. What I'm trying to say is the amount of fans from abroad that want or are interested in watching these games is a lot slimmer than somebody who wants to watch a Spain versus Germany or a Netherlands versus England or Italy versus France, something like that. So you're paying $8,300. It's essentially a gamble at this point. You're paying $8,300 to buy tickets to a venue without having any idea of who's going to be playing. And the last hospitality package that they've currently introduced is the Follow My Team. And what that entails is essentially similar to how you can go to all the games in the venue with the venue ticket. Well, this is you choose a team that you like. For example, I like Germany. And you can go to all their games during the competition up to the first phase of the knockouts. So you're not even buying the ability to go to all their games if they progress all the way to the final. You get 3 group stage games as well as 1 knockout game if they make it to the knockout. Oh, and because it's so cheap, this ticket does not allow you to follow any of the host nations. So you cannot attend the Canada, United States, or Mexico games. In essence, this ticket is supposed to appeal to fans from abroad because they can follow their team everywhere they go. But it doesn't include any other amenities or flights or hotels or anything else. It just includes the ticket. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't even include a lot of the hospitality packages that the other 2 tickets give. The only thing that it includes is a FIFA pavilion. What is this $6,700 nonsense? Does that come with Messi as your private butler? Or Ronaldo's gonna be massaging your feet? What the hell are you talking about? $6,700. Get the fuck out of here. I'd rather watch it on the TV, pay my rent for the next 3 months, and then go take a vacation somewhere. It probably still cost me cheaper than that. $6,700 for tickets. And if you take a look at StubHub, I don't even know how the hell they're determining their prices right now. But what they currently have is beyond insane. Like, look at this. $11,000 for a mid-range ticket. $66,000 for a front seat tickets. For one game. And it's not even like a final or anything. It's just the first opening match of the United States. And you don't even know who they're playing against because those teams haven't qualified yet. Oh, and this $201,000 private seating, whatever nonsense they have. $200,000 for one game. Like, you can literally put a down payment on the house and still have money left over to fix it. You can buy an exotic car like a Lamborghini or something. Or you can go attend a football match. Now, obviously, that's not really realistic. But imagine the kind of person who's willing to spend $201,000 on a ticket. Is that person really a fan, a true fan? Or do they just have money in abundance and they just don't care? It's just a tax write-off for them. It's probably some companies that want to write off their taxes, so they're going to take somebody there. Football is supposed to be for the fans and for the kids, for the families and the people who breathe and live this every day, who watch and follow all the leagues and their favorite teams. It's not just a corporate tax write-off. And you may think I'm talking out of my ass, but this dynamic ticket pricing just failed earlier this year. It hasn't even been 3 months since the Club World Cup finished. And they're trying to introduce it again with the World Cup. Just look at some of these stadiums for the Club World Cup. This was the Club World Cup just 3 months ago. Look at this. Empty. Look at this one. Empty. EMPT. Why? Because they asked too much goddamn money for the tickets originally. If they gave some decent prices, maybe people could have planned their trips much better and the stadiums wouldn't be as empty. But FIFA wants to do this again and again. And if it fails, they're probably gonna do it again. It's like that Aaliyah song, or Alia. If at first you don't succeed, dust it off and try again. Then dust it off and try it again. And if it doesn't succeed again, then try it again. And because we're so stupid as fans, we're gonna continue following them blindly in whatever stupid direction they decide to go next, and then have arguments about if this is a good or a bad move. If your stadiums are empty, it's probably a bad move. So yes, FIFA can technically increase their profits with this dynamic ticket pricing if the stadiums are full, but if they're half empty like they were for the Club World Cup, then the only thing they're increasing is fans' hatred and resentment towards them. I mean, most of us are sick and tired of FIFA as it is, with all the scams that they keep putting, and now this. And then they're gonna come out and be like, oh yeah, this is for your own good. Yeah, bend over, take it, take it, bend over, this is for your own good. What's good about it? Most of us are struggling to pay our rent and food as it is, and you want me to pay $6,700 for tickets? Are you out of your fucking mind? We are no longer competing if we can get tickets to a game. We're competing if we can even afford one. FIFA's really pushing the buttons on how many kidneys people are willing to sell just to go to a football game. Now they keep claiming that football is the beautiful game. Football brings us together. Football will end racism and other inequalities. And at the same time, they're the ones causing the inequalities. They're outpricing the average fan so they can cater to an audience that probably doesn't care about football whatsoever, just so they can make an extra couple of dollars. I mean, this is no longer a family event. It used to be that taking your family out to a World Cup match would create lasting memories. It's something that families would dream about doing. Any father would want to take their sons, myself included, to watch a football game and enjoy it with them. But nowadays it's just like, all right, let's bring in a couple influencers and take a few pictures with some popular people and maybe some former players and just, charge as much money as we can for nonsense that nobody really cares about. We're going to include some extra packages in there just so we can spice up the ticket by there's a trophy room. You can look, but you can't touch. Now, I don't know if they're doing this because this is the US and maybe they think that people are willing to spend more money on tickets. But I remember in 2020, I was able to buy semi-final and final tickets to the Euro Cup for 560 euros total for both games, which is more or less $650. Now compare that to the current pricing and it's mind-boggling. I don't know what they're gonna do going forward because I doubt that many of the other countries which are going to be hosting the tournaments are going to be able to afford such dynamic ticket pricing, and there's going to be definite backlash there. But I can tell you that anyone I've spoken to here in the US is not happy right now. Anyone who knows about this. I've talked to about 20 people for next year's World Cup, and 18 of them have straight up said that they're not interested in going to any of the games. They said that it's too expensive and too unpredictable. They'd rather sit on the couch and if the game gets boring, turn it off and go do something else. No one wants to mortgage their house just to go watch a football game. That's evident. Yes, I am a little bit bitter about the whole thing because I've been waiting for 25 years for the World Cup to come here. I was so excited when they announced that the United States is hosting it. And then I look at these prices, and despite having a steady income, I'm like, I can't afford any of them. It doesn't make any sense to me, financial or otherwise. I really hope that FIFA is in for a reality check and half the people don't show up. Because if they see half empty stadiums, they will probably panic and do the same thing they did for the Club World Cup, where they lowered the ticket as low as $4 or $5 for some of the games. But then again, I'm just speculating here. I'm simply using history as a trajectory for the future, and come next year, the stadiums may be full, and I would have wasted your time. In any case, I'm priced out of any of these games because of reasons I just stated. But let me know what you think and if you're planning on going. And if you haven't, please hit that like and subscribe button, especially because it's free and FIFA doesn't have any control over it. And let me know what other topics you want me to cover, as well as how I can improve in the future. If you've watched this far, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.